writing that he vanquished his playoff narrative in one game. Jackson shattered the narrative that he couldn't win in the postseason after just one playoff victory in his first 5 seasons. Here's Lamar.
Much has been said. Have you heard that? Did it motivate you? I heard it. What's that? You know I heard that.
I seen it. I don't even gotta hear it. I see it, you know. But it is what it is. I really don't care about what people say. You know, I'm trying to win day in, day out. Every time I'm on that field, I'm trying to play to the best of my ability. Those guys just had our team number in the past, but it's a different team, like I've been saying, and we just gotta stay locked in on what's ahead of us.
If they do win, it's not going to be surprising. Does Lamar need to beat the Chiefs?
I sense the Chiefs guys.
I'm just saying
edging.
Y'all
want to come over?
I've considered it.
I offered this to you.
I know. No,
They've kicked you out.
Exactly. Yeah.
How long does he have to come over to my side?
Well, right now he's an NFL orphan, so he can go wherever he wants. Yeah.
I'm giving you the tomorrow.
Okay. Tomorrow's the deadline?
Tomorrow's the deadline.
All right, go ahead. What's the question?
Oh, the official question. Does Lamar need to beat the Chiefs to officially rewrite the underwhelming playoff performer narrative?
No. Look, there's never any shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you just showed us the numbers you've been showing us. If you lose to Mahomes, I said it yesterday. Do we slight Patrick Ewing because you lost to Michael Jordan? No. So if he loses to Mahomes, assuming he plays fairly
doesn't melt down.
Yeah, then no, there's no shame. Now, I think a few things need to be. I think he did dispel the myth that he can't play well and win in the playoffs. One, I don't think I think they focus on his style of play. That he is, even though now he would be maybe a throwing quarterback, he runs. He's a running quarterback too. But I think we have to stop saying you can't win as a running quarterback. He obviously is in the AFC Championship game. Jalen Hurts a year ago in the Super Bowl and comes within 3 points of winning the Super Bowl or tying it, or 4 points of winning it. So I think we need to. It's a new day. If Josh Allen, if the Bills had one, heck, the last 7 weeks he was darn near running quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I think we need to get rid of that. And secondly, Nick, the 1-3 record before this weekend, he wasn't as good a quarterback.
Right.
He was more of a one-dimensional quarterback. The offense was more one-dimensional. So a team with time to prepare for the playoffs, they zeroed in on that. Now he's better. The offense is more versatile, and the receivers are better. So I don't think it's fair at all.
Nick, do you need to see him have a great game? So the game I pulled up was Russ when he beat the Chiefs. They went 24-9. He threw 12 completions for 114 yards. He had 3 touchdowns.
No. I don't know. It's the AFC Championship game. I don't care how he plays.
You think you could have like a 95-yard game?
Oh, well, I don't. By the way, I think he could have a 100-yard game and they lose, and the narrative's still dead. Listen, Lamar Jackson is now a Hall of Famer. He's got 2 league MVPs. I'm counting this year's. He's going to win it.
Yeah.
It was a weird conversation surrounding him because he was discussed as if he had never won a playoff game. He had, but he had never played well in a playoff game. I didn't actually, it would have been a weird spot, like could he have played great and they lose that Houston team? Probably not. But say that had happened, that would have been gone a long ways as well. I just needed to see him be awesome in the playoffs. And not only was he awesome in the playoffs, I think it was under the best possible circumstances because it was not a blowout. It was his defense dominated in the first half, but that punt return changed the tenor of the game. And at halftime, you had to be tight. I don't care what anybody says. That is a nervous 12 minutes at M&T Bank for the fans and for the players. Like, sweet, this is not happening again. But to Brew's point, this was his first playoff game during the prime of his career. I think that's, that's another way to look at it because he was injured the last 2 years. And he was awesome in the second half. He led them. Now, the defense was so good, he probably didn't have to be. But to me, the narrative's dead, especially because he is not ascended to a level of where he is chasing ghosts, right? Like Mahomes is. Mahomes is chasing Brady, and I think that's it. Other people would say Brady and Montana, Manning, whatever. He's just chasing his contemporaries. And look around the league. Not a lot of guys who have been further than this round he's about to play in. Yeah. Like Stafford has, obviously, but he's a generation kind of older. Burrow has gotten obviously they're yet to get this far. Kirk Cousins hasn't. Tua hasn't. Trevor hasn't. So who's he competing with? Like, and if the conversation is, does he need to win this game if we want to at some point to be able to have could he be the best quarterback in the league conversation, he needs to win this game and a lot more stuff has to happen. Yeah. But other than Mahomes, who's the guy out there like, oh, that guy's got so many more pelts on the wall than Lamar? Like Burrow, because he's gotten one round further, I guess, but Lamar's been such a better regular season performer. Right. So I think that one game did change the narrative, and I think that's fair. Like, he needed to be great. He was great.
Okay. We haven't heard any trash talk from the Ravens, which is good news because Mahomes is keeping all receipts. Here he is after the Bills game. Take a listen.
Real quick. Hey, they asked for it. Yeah? And they got what they asked for. But he said it. This ain't done. No, we come back next week ready to go. Turn it up a notch. Cheese on 3, 1, 2, 3.
The Kelsey brothers are such maniacs. Well, listen, I'm bummed out. I would like someone on Baltimore to talk trash. I'm relying on you, Odell. Somebody's got to do it. The closest thing to trash talking from Baltimore we've gotten is the Jimmy's Seafood Restaurant talking trash about my hair. But I'm not on the team, and they're not on the team, so we can't put them on the bulletin board. I thought about it. Even had Dusty print out their logo. Thought maybe we'd get Bruce some crab out of it or something, but no. Because here's the thing. The bulletin board has been vindictive.
Oh.
It has taken down damn near everyone. And
that's true.
Deion Dawkins, we didn't focus on this part of it yesterday, but if we run what could have been the most crucial play of the game, when Josh Allen misses, is it Shakir in the end zone? I don't remember.
Shakir.
Deion Dawkins gets walked back into him by Chris Jones, and that's one of the reasons Josh maybe doesn't make that full throw. Chris had, on a third down earlier in the game, batted down a pass, and then on that play, walks Deion Dawkins into Josh Allen. So the bulletin board has been a very, very problematic place to be, and I think it is smart that the Ravens, it's early, I don't expect them to show up on it. I think the Ravens are too well coached. I think the culture's too good. And I think that, again, maybe, I don't know who it would be. I don't expect to hear from Roquan Smith or Patrick Quinn or Kyle Hamilton, certainly not Lamar, trash talk about the Chiefs. And I think that's smart because I do think it adds a little extra fire to a team that seems to thrive on it.
Well, I agree with you in that. I don't expect them to say anything. I like you said, that's not their culture. We know OBJ in the past, but he's not, in the position. Yeah. If he came out and said something, I know they love OBJ there, but it just would be out of place. Yep. They're not, and I also think now, obviously the Bills respected the Chiefs too, but I think there's a really healthy respect here. Even Mahomes after the game on the field, he was asked about Baltimore, and he was like, "There's no weaknesses there." Like, like there's a real respect there. So I'll be surprised. I just don't think you'll hear trash talk from either. And they haven't faced each other a lot.
Correct.
So it's not even like that feeling of a rivalry where you might get a little trash.
Want me to have a can of worms conversation? This topic we could try to jam in. This could be a full-on podcast, and we'll try to do it in 30 seconds. Do you see Clark Hunt there in the background?
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly. It's good culture. You like the owner
agree.
in the background? That's the championship culture.
He's right there, right
looking
at him like.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Is that how you like the owner?
That's how it is. Look, let me say, Jerry Jones, quick message. I hope Jerry's watching. Jerry, this is what Jerry doesn't understand. Yeah. If you win, if we don't hear a peep from you next season at all, and you win the Super Bowl, guess who gets the credit? Jerry Jones.
That's right.
You will be the one they hand the Lombardi trophy to. You will get praise. So just sit back next year and relax.
Counterpoint, Clark Hunt has won 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, is the leader of the dynasty, and Brew didn't even know what he looked like. So
I didn't know what he looked like. I thought that was like, I thought that was a PR guy.
Exactly. Maybe there's a method to the madness.
Belichick to Buffalo, strong maybe next. Super Bowl banner in the preseason in his practice facility. And he ended the season with a banner in the First Things First studio. Not great.
He got that a few times during the year to be fair.
A lot of banners here.
This is not a situation where you you strip it down to the studs, you start all over. I mean, we've done a lot of good things, and the players have done a lot of good things. I think you really start with understanding the success that we've had and how we've gotten it. And then you make tweaks along the way to try and get ourselves to become world champions.
Okay. So Greg Jennings is here. I'm going to walk the audience through where we've been with this take. Brew debuted before anyone was on this. Belichick to Buffalo. Then later on,
Like 6 weeks ago.
yes, before anybody. Yes. Then other people started to pick up on it, and then Brew said, "You know what? Since they did the OC change and they won the game, they beat the Dolphins, they were playing well. You're like, I'm off of that." And then yesterday you snuck in. You know what? They should take a meeting with him, but I'm keeping it. And I said upstairs, I'm like, dude, what happened to your take? We should discuss how you're trying to figure it out. But this is your take.
Yeah.
What changes do the Bills need to make now?
I've been marinating on it.
Okay, good.
All right. Because look, Sean McDermott's a good coach. I don't think anybody up here is going to doubt that. He has made them a perennial playoff team. When he got there, they hadn't made the playoffs in 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not one time in 17 years. He gets them there 6 of the last 7
And
years.
it should be noted, it wasn't all Josh. Like, he got there
Right.
with Tyrod Taylor.
Right.
So
He's a good coach. There's no question about it. And this year he did a good job with the defense, with all the injuries, and the Joe Brady move, getting rid of Ken Dorsey. I thought it worked out well. But look, I'm going to take what I call the LeBron James approach. LeBron is like player or coach. If we're not winning a championship with you, bye. Okay? David Black was cooking with them. They got rid of him. I just think sometimes you need a new voice. Mark Jackson and Golden State was doing a good job. They won 50 games and stuff like that, going to the playoffs every year. They bring in Steve Kerr, the rest is history. All right, sometimes that is the case. And I think when you look at who's out there, all right, I think they need a culture change. And I think whether it's Bill Belichick, this is the curveball I told you I was going to throw. I got to talk to Jim Harbaugh before he makes a decision. I mean, and I actually like Harbaugh a little better than Belichick because he's a quarterback whisperer, and he might be able to get the absolute best out of Josh Allen. So I'm looking at Harbaugh, then Belichick, and I think those two could take Buffalo to the next level. I think Mike Vrabel, at the least, could keep them at least as good as they are now. So, yeah, I would be looking, with those 3 guys out there, I'm looking at one of them as a coaching change.
I thought about this too, and again, Bill Belichick, if that is a realistic option and he doesn't have some type of handshake with obviously
Atlanta.
not Atlanta, but Robert Kraft, saying that because we let you go,
You won't go to the
you won't go inside the division, then okay, you look at that as an option. I think that's realistic. But for me, this is your coach. This is your guy. It's not because of coaching that they failed. If they would have not made the postseason, I think we all would agree he would have been on the hot seat, probably not sustained his job. Because he was able to find a way to get this team to even defensively play formidable football and be stout as much as they could and still perform at a high level and get in the postseason, it's like, okay, let's look elsewhere. So then I look offensively. You got to get some help with Diggs, if you even need Diggs any longer.
Correct. What the heck?
The way that this offense has evolved and changed, they didn't even use Diggs the way they once were when he was still with the previous coordinator. I get that. But the way that they ran their offense, it looked different. If this team just simply gets healthy, and you have Jordan Phillips, and you have Tre'Davious White, and you obviously have Matt Milano, this team is still in a position where they can compete and win a championship. So I don't know if it's...
They're a contender. They're going to be a contender, but can they get over the hump?
I don't know,
There's
guys.
always...
Listen, there's always the guy who's been right about him all along, so no reason to listen to him. But they took their shot, guys. At some point, the bill comes due, and it's coming due fast and furious. Their big swing was Von Miller. He gave him 5 tackles and 0 sacks on the season. I'm going to say that again. He gave them 5 tackles and 0 sacks on the season.
Got his money,
and the explanation as well was is his year coming off a big injury. But then they're going to be better next year because why? Matt Milano is going to be his year coming off a big injury, and Trey White his year coming off a big injury, and Jordan Phillips is one of the guys who they could lose in free agency because they are $47 million over the cap. The only D linemen they have under contract are Ed Oliver, and Gregory Rousseau. Micah Hyde's a free agent. Gabe Davis is a free agent.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs seemed to hit free agency 2 months ago and does not tell anybody. And so, all that is happening right now with the Buffalo Bills. I'm not trying to dance on anyone's grave. I'm not trying to be a smartass. It is what it is. And then you have this part of it. The Belichick part is intriguing because you have this amazing time to hire coaches with Belichick available, Jim Harbaugh available, Mike Vrabel available, and they're all still available.
Right.
The only job that's been taken is the Titans job with Callahan. That's it. And I would think because of Josh and the promise that he has, they would go to the front of the line. Right? Like, they would become... Why does everybody think the Chargers are a great job? Because of Herbert. Well, I think everybody thinks Josh Allen's better than Herbert. He certainly is more established. He's done more. So there's all that. Because here's why I think they have to do something significant. Not only because their cap situation and because it's going to be tougher than people expect. But who was the team of the 90s, guys? Who was it? We all know. Say it. The Cowboys. Okay, I'll say it. Don't worry about it. The second place team of the 90s is, I would argue, the Bills. Right? We make fun of the Cowboys so much for what it's been like for them since their glory years. Guys, we can show you Buffalo versus them. It's not that different. They both have 5 playoff wins. Yes, Buffalo one time made a conference championship game. All right, but Nick, what about in this era? Let's show the last 3 years when the Cowboys have been 12 wins every year. It's what? Because Buffalo has gotten to round 2 a couple more times? Nobody thinks the Cowboys can just keep running it back. I know they do. They're going to. But we laugh at them for it. And so I don't think Buffalo can just stand pat. When Burrow's coming back healthy.
It's the coach. What else is there?
Greg is just saying health, which is just kind of luck. I buy that, but it just seems...
They would be good, but would they be better than Kansas City, Baltimore, Cincinnati?
Hey, this year they were better than Cincinnati.
Okay.
Well,
They would have had to get over the hell.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's wish casting at this point. The Bills are a team people wish was awesome.
Hey, Dusty, next year, can you put on your calendar? We're going to have the same conversation with the Bills lead.
When they don't make a change.
Josh Allen went on an impressive winning streak to end the year, clinched a 2 seed, got his rival at home, still came up short. Regardless, he is still optimistic. Take a listen.
It takes an entire organization. It takes every single person in this facility to win a Super Bowl, and obviously we haven't gotten it done yet. So some good long looks in the mirror and conversations with people that are in and outside the building, just asking, what can I do more? What can I be better at? And learning and growing from that, and that's exactly what I plan on doing.
Okay. How much of this season's disappointing result is on Josh Allen?
Well, I think they had to change who they were because they couldn't trust them to not turn the ball over. And they started winning, but to me, their ceiling. I think the ceiling of being a ground and pound defensive ball control team, given their defensive injuries, that ceiling was low. And then in that football game, and I'm shocked how many people just have refused the last 48 hours to acknowledge to me, I think to you as well, Wild, what was flatly true. In that football game, Josh was awesome for 3 quarters and bad for the last.
To turn the Bills around.
And they lost.
And finally,
those are the numbers.
Championship edition.
And the fumble is a big part of it. I understand they recovered it, but he didn't earn that. And I think this is what I'm going to pop to you, Greg. Because that last drive, he totally changed how he was playing. That first play last drive, he throws a perfect 65-yard pass to Stephon Diggs. But the thing with 65-yard passes is it's hard to complete. Even if it's a perfect pass, even if it's thrown to a number 1 receiver, it's still relatively low percentage. But you take it because of what it can be. From that moment on, he immediately reverted back to the Jekyll and Hyde Josh Allen. 4 plays later, he almost throws a pick to Trent McDuffie and Snead. It's the one Snead